Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli waj'al li waziran min ahli Haruna akhi ushdud bihi azri washriku fi amri kay nusabbihaka kaseera wa nadhkuraka kaseera innaka kunta bina basira. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, dear friends. Inshallah, we will continue with our discussion about the Quran, the miracle of the Quran, which is from the book, The 25th Word. We're looking at how the Quran presents in a unique style that we cannot really fathom or get from the books that we see in the universe, and how it uses that style to catch our attention, relates everything to our experiences in the universe, gives examples exactly the way that we are examining the sun or the moon, the trees, and gives them in a very figurative way, gives a different realization of meaning to that. Like a simple thing that we think, oh, it's just the sun shining, but then the way the the Quran kind of presents in a style that just opens your senses, your feelings, your heart, your mind to just wander in a way like, wow, like puts into mind the maker's tremendousness. Just by the way the words are structured and put into the unique style of the Quran. And the sun runs its course to a place appointed. And the author shared that how it just recalls all the orderly disposals of divine power in the alternations of winter and summer and day and night, just by mentioning the way the sun kind of is situated and what happens. And although we know the earth is rotating, it's tilted, rotates around its axis and goes around the sun as well, then that's how our winter and the seasons that we experience based on the tilt of the earth, and according how science explains it with the distance of the sun. Some places summer, and the other place which is distant from the sun, there's winter. So all those different manifestations of amazing things are going on, just how the universe is set up in this way. So it recalls us to that to realize that. Right, so I said, the examples regarding the sun and all the celestial bodies and their connection with the seasons that we experience. So we will continue with some more examples and see how the author shares the style of the Quran, and with the word lamp in, and set the sun as a lamp, which is a verse from the Quran, section 71, verse 16, which is, I think, this verse, وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. Subhanallah. And placed the moon in them as enlightened, and he made the sun as a source of light. Or this one, the clear Quran, placing the moon within them as a reflected light, and the sun as a radiant lamp. Yeah, so this one is as a radiant lamp. Oops. Yeah, the sun as a lamp, and not just a regular lamp, a radiant siraja. I mean, there's not real translation of that word. So it opens a window onto the style like this. It makes one understand the maker's majesty, and Creator's bounty. So makes one understand the Maker's majesty and Creator's bounty. By recalling that the world is a palace and the things within it are adornments, food, and necessities prepared for man and living creatures, and that the sun is a subservient candle or a lamp, demonstrating that the sun is an evidence of God's unity, and that the idolater's greatest, most brilliant object of worship is merely a subjugated lamp, an inanimate creature. That is to say, the word lamp calls to mind the Creator's mercy within the grandeur of his dominicality, because we're benefiting from the light, the lamp, yes. So the Creator's mercy within the grandeur of his dominicality, it recalls his favors within the breadth of his mercy. And in so doing, informs of his munificence within the majesty of his sovereignty, thereby proclaiming divine unity and saying indirectly, an inanimate and subservient lamp is in no way fit to be worshipped. So just in the manner of speaking about the sun as a lamp, some agent has placed it, right? So it makes one wonder when we look at the lamp, yeah, who has put that? It should make us at least. Just like when we go and look at a piece of art, right? We get lost into the art itself, but we never wonder who is the artist. You know, so that happens in this civilization we're living in. We just take advantage and see the lamp as the sun. Oh yeah, it's shining. It is there, but we never wonder, how is it there? Why is it there? Who put it there? How does it, yeah, placed exactly like that? So once you start delving into that, yes, we see that the Maker's majesty and Creator's bounty is coming, is there, and that is the result of why the sun demonstrates that. And of course, the things that are created in the universe is, he says that the idolater's greatest, most brilliant object of worship, because it's so prominent. It's like the elephant in the room, as the saying goes. So the sun is always there, that we usually either take it for granted or we just don't pay much attention to it. And those who do think that the sun may be, or at some point, like the Zoroastrians may be referring to them, saw that, oh, it's such a majestic thing, the sun, and give as if that is kind of the one that needs to be worshipped, because that's the biggest thing ever. Brother Ali, go ahead, please.
So those people who worship sun are not the historical, I felt, not the historical figures that some people used to worship the sun. Now, anyone who says sun is the source of light, source of light, source of life. If there was no sun, there would be no life. They are sun worshippers. Now, in the 21st century. So that is what I think the following lines are going to tell us.
Thank you for highlighting that. You're right. They're just like cow worshippers, sun worshippers, tree worshippers, thinking that the tree is giving, or the cow is giving milk, or tree is giving fruit, or the sun is giving light. That's a good point. In this day and age, as the science kind of says, the materialist scientists, basically.
Nature worshippers.
Nature worshippers. Yeah.
Nature worshippers. Matter. It is developing itself. It is acting itself. So there is no need to name a name of a religion. Historically happened to be, but they represent something. And for them, the sun represented something.
Correct. Yes. Okay, so we'll continue. And in the course of runs its course, referring to the sun.
How about the rest of the paragraph? There are interesting things.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you.
I've been waiting the rest of the paragraph to
Okay.
analyze it, to talk about. You read it, but we are going over it. Yeah.
Yep. So that is to say, the word lamp calls to mind the Creator's mercy within the grandeur of his dominicality. So just by using this word, was it Siraj or Shams, right? Shamsu Sirajan. So shining kind of lamp. Calls to mind the Creator's mercy within the grandeur of his dominicality. So it recalls his favors within the breadth of his mercy. And in so doing informs of his munificence within the majesty of his sovereignty, thereby proclaiming divine unity. So it's interesting how the sun, that lamp now indicates or alludes to divine unity, and whatever we benefit, however, is basically divine mercy within the whole dominicality or his ownership, lordship over the whole universe, the one who controls and subjugates each and every being in the universe.
Within the context of the universe, you cannot take it out and independently analyze what the sun is doing. You cannot really separate them, divide them into pieces. That's why his dominicality means his sovereignty over all universe. It is like the one who builds a building, and every single piece of the building is under the dominicality of the builder of the whole house. It means he decided. For example, the window will be there, the lamp will be there, electric system will be there, water supply system will be like this. Every single being has it is in every single piece in the house arranged by the one who arranged the whole house. I think within the grandeur of his dominicality means.
I see, yeah, within the grandeur of his dominicality. So that the one who arranged the whole universe, the whole house in your analogy. So you cannot separate any being or the sun from the whole system of this whole house or the dominicality. I guess majesty of his sovereignty is also the same. This whole house, this whole universe, thereby proclaiming divine unity. That's why it shows that every being is coming directly from this divine being. And saying indirectly, an inanimate and subservient lamp. So it's my creation, my arrangement is in no way fit to be worshipped.
Worship means
No,
worship.
that is the source of the light is bringing, the source of warmth that is giving. So
Source of
both that
existence
into
of
it.
anything.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Source of existence of anything.
I see. Yep. Source of existence of whatever we are experiencing.
Yeah, whatever I see as to be the source of existence of anything, I'm worshiping it. That's what worship means, acknowledgement of the owner of the things that we are pleased with.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Okay. And in the yeah.
Inanimate and subservient lamp. What
Mhm.
do you understand from inanimate? Yeah, it is obvious, but we have to pay attention that an inanimate being and a subservient being will be the source of existence of something, life or light, whatever you call it. Inanimate and subservient. Subservient means subject to continuously renovation.
Dependent and subject to
Yeah,
continuous change, contingent.
yeah. And then say that this one is acting by its own, choosing, preferring, but it is being subject to change continuously. It cannot get out of it. So ridiculous understanding. And they speak in the name of science, scientific facts. What a tricky thing.
You're right. Yes, that's how science kind of goes around, and that's how what they propagate. So Moabi has a comment. Just to clarify, there's a difference between intentionally worshiping the means. Example, thinking the sun is a source of life and forgetting to acknowledge the creator. Yeah, so intentionally, I mean, nobody really says I'm worshiping the sun, but within our understanding, within our feelings, we think that yes, we are getting the light from the sun, and thanks to the sun in a way, indirectly, we are kind of attributing that, right? So we think the sun is the source of existence, but although we may not directly say it, but if you ask, is it? Then you'll say, no, it's not. Or we say, yeah, thanks to the tree, I'm getting the fruit, but we don't say I'm worshiping the tree, but the understanding that goes behind it, if there was no tree, then I would not get the fruit or something, which is true, but the existence of the fruit and the tree needs to be together.
The scientists are intentionally cheating people. They know that the entanglement theory explained everything, and it is proved to be true physically. So, entanglement, everything is directly interrelated, interconnected, interdependent with each other. They know it, like the house example, they know that the window and the door and the ceiling, the floor and the wool and the glass and the frame, everything is integrated with each other. So they say this, but at the same time, go and study the window by itself or a frame of the window by itself and say that the frame happened to be in this way in the course of time. They forget about the whole house. That is intentional. But ordinary people like you and me, or maybe you are not ordinary, but I am, like I am, yeah, the questionnaire, yeah, welcome back. So ordinary people like me, we don't say that I am worshiping sun. So bowing down before it, no one does. That doesn't mean worship. Worship, as Asim said, acknowledging that it is the source of something. It is acting by itself.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at some comments on the chat. So anything that is performing its duties, and we can say that it's contingent and it's not doing it. Examine it, study it. Does it have any quality to be performing its duties? And then we can conclude, yes, it can only be, it has no quality by itself, so it must be something else, some other agent who is organizing it. The one who owns the house, the will of its creator, cannot be the source of the results that we observe. And then, but is constantly at all moments of time acknowledge the creator every single moment humanly possible.
Consciousness is important, I would say. Are you saying that matter is the source of existence? Of course, it is always constant at all moments of time, acknowledging the creator. If you are aware of it, for example, a child is living with his family. Example, does he say that I'm living with my family, or I am living with them, and my father is taking care of? No, the awareness of this situation, or not being aware of this situation. The third option is consciously, deliberately choosing the understanding that I happen to be in this house. That's it. Not my parents are not taking care of me, or no. I happen to be in this way. That's just an accident. That is the third option. That is called in the Quran kafir. Definitely rejects the reality and chooses the option which rejects the reality, which denies the reality. But ordinary people just live without realizing. This is also not belief, because they don't take any side. The belief means, which worship means then, worship of the creator, being aware that I am in this world created deliberately, and my creator has been providing everything for me. This awareness is practical worship. As a result of this awareness, so if I have my creator, everything is given to me, how can I thank him? How can I respond back to him? Then the religion comes into the subject. So the prophets say, teach us that we have our creator, and practically, of course, the consciousness is taught or education is from the Quran as far as our consciousness side of is concerned. Practical side is presented in the physical life of the Prophet. Not his consciousness is unique to him as your consciousness is unique to yourself. But he doesn't share his consciousness. It is impossible. But how am I going to attain this consciousness? The process is given with many examples in the Quran. All the examples mentioned in the Quran are the way that the Quran is teaching me. How should I develop, improve my consciousness? So constantly remembering is humanly impossible. But at this awareness, if someone, as the author of this book says, if someone asks you and me, somebody, do you think the, let's say, the orange is produced by the tree or by the creator of the tree? He says, if you use a negative question to them, do you think the orange has developed, the orange tree has developed by itself accidentally and produced the orange? And the answer to this question demonstrates whether this person is a believer or not. So if a person, if I ask the question to somebody, this question, do you think that the orange is produced by the tree? Tree happened to be developed itself throughout the billions of years. No, the person says it must be created by God. He means by God, the creator of the universe. Ah, that is a sign of iman. But if someone says, yes, of course, it is an evolution, the result of the evolution's process, then this is in the language of the Quran, kufr. So nature will be, the Asim says, nature will be the answer nowadays. I think Asim wrote this. Answers, nature will be answer from most. Yeah, but you have to be careful what they say about nature. In order to, I mean, it is not our duty to say this is a kafir, this is not a kafir, but in order to make the distinction between innocent peoples using the nature, the word nature, or scientists using the word nature. Scientists definitely say nature as the creator. But ordinary people, and they are with the language of the Quran kafir. That's the yakfurun. They deny. They are a very small number of people. But when it comes to ordinary people, yes, if they say nature, it demonstrates or hints that they are not really very, very conscious of the creator. But are they deniers? Do they say nature but not God? No, that is a question there. Do you think nature, what nature is? The way God created. That is innocent. Although he's not really aware that every single being at every moment is created by God, but he's not aware, but he's not denier either. So we cannot call them kafir. I mean, not for the sake of putting a label on the person, but for the sake of defining what the Quranic word kufr, mushrik, means. If someone is mushrik, not only what he says, we have to be very careful. what is behind in his mind when they use an expression, a word, a concept. In the negative questions, is it nature that is creating the things, or is it the nature that God created with this quality? What do you mean? Most of them will say God created. So God created the tree with the quality to produce orange. That's what they say. Is it a perfect iman? No, as the Quran doesn't approve it. But at the same time, we cannot really say uh, this person is kafir because he believed in God. Even in the language of the Quran, it's a very, very interesting verse, actually. If someone tells you salam, you are a Muslim. If someone tells you salam, and Quran says, don't say that he is an unbeliever, kafir. It's a very interesting verse. It means you are a Muslim, salam. It means I accept your understanding in general. But they don't know what is going on in my mind, in myself. Just the Quran says, qalu salama. That's it. You can. It is a very interesting verse. So don't say that they are believers. La yu'minun. Now, this is very interesting. So, we are talking here in theory, black and white terms, not necessarily people's blurry belief, blurry unawareness. No, black and white terms. And we all are in between somewhere. We shouldn't forget that our reality is not different from this blurring area. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ali. Yeah, so you said about the verses that are reminding us, like these verses about our consciousness, and with this word lamp, the sun as a lamp. Yeah, beautiful. All right, any other comments or thoughts? We discussed quite a few things in this, what worship is and how the inanimate and servient lamp kind of fits within each and every being that is given existence, how consciousness needs to be used to recognize and acknowledge, because belief is not just one time, right? So it is, as Brother Ali keeps reminding us, it is confirmation. When we confirm using our free will or consciousness, then that constitutes worship in that sense. So, and in the course of runs its course, so the sun runs its course, it calls to mind the wondrous, orderly disposals of divine power in the revolutions of night and day, and winter and summer. And in so doing, makes known the grandeur of a single Maker's power in his dominicality. So just by recalling to pay attention, using our consciousness to the acts of the celestial beings, the solar system, or the things, the activity in the universe that is going on, continuously changing. Pay attention to it and see that who is organizing, and recognize, acknowledge the grandeur of this owner, this maker, single maker's power in his dominion or dominicality, in this creation and in this universe. That is to say, it turns man's mind from the points of the sun and moon. So from the sun and the moon to the pages. So looking at the sun and the moon is just the start at the things in the universe. So it's just like a dot or a point of the sun and the moon to the pages of night and day and winter and summer. See what they lead to, further continuous changing universe, and draws man's attention to the lines of events written on those pages. For the Quran does not speak of the sun for the sake of the sun, but for the one who illuminates it. I think this is a very beautiful phrase that the author is mentioning here. So whatever the Quran, sun being an example, the Quran does not speak of the sun for the sake of the sun. Or even when the prophetic stories are there, it's not for the sake of the prophetic story, but there's a point that is being made. But for the one who illuminates it, or the one who is, so that's just a starting point to start with and look at the arrangement in the whole universe, who is organizing and arranging it. So it makes it more expansive and universal, just from one particular thing to a more universal understanding. Also, it does not speak of the sun's nature. So the Quran does not define what the sun's characteristics, the properties are, which the science would explain, for which man has no need, but of the sun's duty, which is that of mainspring for the order of dominical art and center of the order of dominical creativity, sun being the center of the order of dominical creativity, and a shuttle for the harmony and order of dominical art in the things the pre-eternal inscriber weaves with the threads of day and night. So the whole creation, the existence of all beings that are observable within the universe during the continuous changes of day and night. You can compare others of the Quran's words with these. While all are simple, ordinary words, each performs the duty of a key to treasuries of subtle meanings. I think this is another key principle of the Quran. Although it uses something we are familiar with, simple, ordinary words, but they open up like a door. They're a key to open the treasuries of many other meanings. Just like the sun in this case opens the doors for the night and day and the seasons that we experience and all the beings that are benefiting from it. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
You continue, inshallah. Would you like? Yeah, you were saying something. Just I want to wait for you to finish, and then I will say something.
Yeah, I'm done. You can continue, inshallah.
For the Quran doesn't speak, because the Quran doesn't speak of the sun for the sake of the sun, but for the one who illuminates it. So where some people look at the Quran from one aspect, saying that Quran said something about what is happening physically in this world. They say it is wrong, like this one. We talked about it, I think, previous week, last week. So we said the sun is rotating, but it's not the sun. The moon, the earth, globe of earth is turning. rotating around its own axis. So they say, oh, it is scientifically not correct. Quran is talking about something not correct. That is one extreme side of it. The other extreme side is also looking for a scientific evidence what the Quran is talking about, the sun or the famous ones, the earth, the mountains moving, all these, the four dark stages that the baby goes through, maybe in one aspect, but we have to understand that the Quran doesn't speak of these events for the sake of the events itself, but for the one who illuminates it. It means through these creations, the way they are created, you have to learn that their actions demonstrate the qualities of their creator, because they themselves are inanimate beings, unconscious beings, and subservient beings. For example, you see that an artist is taking an example, human example, an artist taking a brush in his hand and moving the paints up and down here and there, and the paints are subservient to the choice of the artist. We know that here is the paint is moving, however it is made. It doesn't have any free will or knowledge or life to choose itself. But at the end, the art happens. We understand that paint is first inanimate and also subservient to lamp. That is how we subservient to the will of the artist, because they cannot get out of it. They cannot choose another way. So we have to understand the same thing again here. The Quran doesn't mention for the sake of whether the piece of art is made of this quality paint or not. Quran mentions about the art, it cannot happen by itself. It must have an agent behind it who is creating, employing in a certain position. So take notice of the creation, the way it is created, rather than looking for scientific explanation of the situation. And then Quran is, look, miraculously demonstrating it. It may be true, I'm not saying no, but the main purpose is not that. Main purpose is, look at the sun as an example and see it cannot act by itself. Whether it moves around the sun, around the earth, or it moves around the galaxy, this is not the point. The way it is happening there is designed for the in order to show the free will of the creator, its creator. So we have to read the Quran accordingly. By the way, I found the ayah. It's very interesting. Would you like me to share it?
Yes, please go ahead.
Now, allow multiple presenters to show. No, replace current share. Replace current share.
Please.
Multiple, there is no need. All right, here we go. Here. Now, let's read this one. So you who believe, be careful when you go to fight. No, no. When you go forth, war. Oh, man. No, this says, yeah, these are the way that they read the Quran within its context and reduce the meaning of the verse to its context only. So, ya eyyühellezine amenu, idâ darabtum fî sebilillah. This darabtum fî sebilillah, uh, uh, darbun, now. In English, we use it, don't we? We say, I'm going to hit the road tomorrow. Or I'm going to hit the road and I have to hit the road. Do you understand what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
What do I mean?
You're gonna take the road, basically.
Yeah, start the journey.
Correct.
But historically, start the war. Yes, it means. But as far as our subject is concerned, so when you hit the road, darabe, to hit. To hit, darabe means to hit. But for example, the darab yadribullahu emsal. What does it mean? Allah hits the example. What does it mean? Hitting the example, giving an example. It has the same word, taraballah, yadribullah, the same word. So we have to understand that it's war conditions concerns war. If it is not war conditions, it is like our ordinary life now. Yeah, thinking about God or thinking that I am on the way of God. فَتَبَيَّنُوا. Now, make sure while you are judging about other people, let's put it in our context now. Make sure while you are judging about other people. Now, and here it is. في سبيل فتبينوا ولا تقولوا لمن ألقى إليكم السلام. Look, let's say, no. So you who believe, I'm reading from here. Be careful when you go to fight in God's way. Of course, we are fighting in God's way to kill the elements of shirk, right? So, and say that Islam is the superior religion. And don't say to someone, that is the point, that's the verse. I want this piece of the verse. Don't say to someone who offers you a greeting of peace. Salam. In the language of the Quran, where liman elqa ilaykumus salam. Whoever offers you salam. Now, and don't say to someone who offers you a greeting of salam. It says salam. Don't say to this person, you are not a believer. Understood? Somebody says salam. It means I am with peace with you. But he doesn't go to details. With peace until where? No. Just says I am in peace with you. That's it. Don't say that you are not a believer out of the desire for the chance gains of this life. What does it mean, chance gain? Fleeting worldly. No, this is better. You are not a believer. Here, I'm reading from here. Seeking the fleeting worldly gain. Now, so you are not a believer. You are not a believer. Although he said salam, he told me salam only. So if someone says, You are a Muslim? Yeah, good. Yeah, not in a sarcastic way. Yeah, good, you believe in that. Yeah. Okay, he's not kafir, denying, no, you are lost, you are wrong. But scientists say you are wrong. Ordinary people don't say that you are wrong. Ordinary people, I don't know. Some people say Christianity, some people say Islam. I don't know. They are not really blank kafir.
The idea could be wrong, right?
Yeah, they are not aware of what is true. They are not really believing in one God, but at the same time, they are not denying either. Indifferent. We cannot say indifferent people kafir and expect some worldly benefits, maybe status as well. You see, they are kafir. Well, so whoever doesn't believe in God, believe in the Quran, believe in the Prophet, believe in the hereafter, list all this, they are kafir. Now, what does it mean? What does this statement imply? Can you tell me? They are all kafir. They are all kafir. What does this statement imply? Any guess?
I didn't get your question. So you're saying this statement, you're not a believer seeking a fleeting worldly gain?
Yeah. It means you are living here in America, as far as I know. Now, if you say, or if I say, listen to me, what I am saying. You know, those Christians, Jews, especially Jews. So, and Zoroastrians, and those people who don't believe in God, who don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad, if they believe in Jesus, no. You have to believe in Prophet. If you don't believe in Prophet Muhammad, you are kafir. If you don't believe in Quran, you are kafir. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah.
if I take this attitude, what does it mean? I am declaring what? I am the only one who is
Knowledgeable.
believer,
Believer. Yeah.
not believer. I am the only one who is saved. That means really being proud of yourself only. It means here in the language of the Quran, he says, don't say to those who offer you greetings of peace, you are no believers, you are not believers, seeking the fleeting worldly gain. Which kind of fleeting worldly gain I am seeking here? Do I get any money? When I say to the person that these are all kafir, whoever
Nope.
doesn't believe that Muhammad is the last prophet, they are kafir. What does it mean? What is my worldly benefit from it, worldly gain from it?
The pride in this world of being the only believer.
Uh-huh. Say,
Pride in this world of being the only believer.
yeah, nothing but, no, I don't mean this. Just a minute. Yes, nothing but I am the super being, super correct being. That is nothing but pride, proud, being proud of yourself. So we have to be careful. The Quranic teaching cannot be understood only within a certain area. Now, Feriha says, declaring to be God also as if I make judgments. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, declaring to be God, no, this person doesn't really declare that I am God. But in this example, in this particular example, I am not making judgment saying that, no, the Quran says if you don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad, you are not a believer. So believers are expected to believe in God, the Prophet, the last day, and the angels. It lists all this. But when I say to a person, although he doesn't openly declare that he doesn't believe in God and propagates it, that is something else. But somebody says salam to you, and don't say, you told me salam, there is a peace between you and me, but you don't believe that the Muhammad was the last prophet. You are kafir. But this is a way of seeking a worldly gain by feeling great and self-sufficient, super being within yourself. I mean, what I mean by this, if you, uh, how do you say, if you have $1,000 gain, on the other hand, if you gain a fame, a proud position among the people, which one is most valuable thing? Or how can I explain it? Which one is $1,000 or being very famous in the world? Which one is people are dying for? $1,000 or fame in the world? Answer?
Answer is fame.
Sorry?
Fame.
Fame, yeah. The people are giving their life to gain fame, to be famous. $1,000 is nothing. So I understand from here, fleeting, sorry, this seeking a fleeting worldly gain, in our example, is feeling great, being proud of yourself. So developing a proud confidence within yourself. Everybody is kafir. I am the one. That is what I understand within our context from this world. So if someone greets us peace, I have no right to say you are not no believer. You are not a believer. You are not a believer. Did you get it? So the following verse is this. You are so don't say to someone who offers you a greeting peace, you are not a believer, out of desire for the chance gain of this life. It means, I will understand within our context, the proud of yourself. God has plenty of gains for you. So expect the gain from God, not from declaring others wrong and you are the right one. You yourself were in the same position before, but God was gracious to you. So be careful. You had, in your past, you were not aware of what you are believing in, but God gave us, alhamdulillah, this opportunity, having this kind of discussions and realizing. So that is God's grace. Be proud of God's grace, not yourself. To be careful. So be careful. God is fully aware of what you do. Here it is. So, aleykum fetebeyyenu. Be careful what you are doing. Inna Allaha kana bima ta'maluna khabira. God knows what is going on. When I declare everybody is wrong, it means I am the right one. Right one. Sorry, maybe a distraction, but interesting verse to be aware of that such thing exists in the Quran.
That's a beautiful verse, actually. So, fatabayyanu,
Yeah,
translated as to be sure or discernment. Careful is, I think, a good translation here, actually, in the last one.
this one.
It
Now,
makes
be
it
careful.
catches your attention to be careful. Like, look, don't just blindly call someone a disbeliever just
Yeah,
to like pride and just having that feeling within you of I'm really a good believer or so, right? That happens.
yeah. I see, I don't know whether you see, or I don't know people's heart, but in their appearance, those people declare everybody ehli bid'ah, kafir. That is shirk, brother. That is shirk. This kind of people are very proud of themselves. I, I experienced a lot. Very proud of them. I am the only right one. I think this is the worldly gain. Instead of thanking Allah, Alhamdulillah, Ya Rab, you gave me the opportunity to know the truth as much as I could benefit from it. I am very thankful to you, and don't pass judgment about other people. That is the best way. It's especially the one who's not declaring war against you. But scientists are, the materialist scientists are declaring war against the believers. That is correct. You can tell them, they are openly say that there is no God, nothing, don't believe in such mythologies. The things are reality here, and science is explaining everything. There is no need to believe in God. That is obvious. So this person doesn't believe. Okay. How what is happening? What is going to happen to him? Allah knows. But this person doesn't believe in God because he is declaring. How about my neighbor? My neighbor, or the people. When I wear my standard, this amame and jellab, no one tells me anything negative. They say, hello, that is their peace. This is their peace. It means I accept you as you are. That's it. I don't mind whether he believed in Muhammad as the prophet, last prophet. Oh, some people are crazy. He's the last. He's the last. Whether he understood what prophethood means, questionable. But last is that is some people are crazy about it. I don't know what they mean by this. It is not the subject, but we should be very careful to take care of ourselves rather than reject, eliminate everyone except me. That is a very dangerous attitude for me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. This was a beautiful verse, actually. You're right, for you. A super important verse keeps us in check with our erring attitudes, which boost our ego for merely worldly satisfaction.
Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, this is for us, yes, for me. Everybody can say that. So it's interesting about the verse also you said about the daraba, darabtum, fatabayyanu, how it needs to be understood.
So we are now, if you like, إذا ضربتم في سبيل الله, trying to understand the way which takes me to God directly. We are in this position now. So while I am trying to understand how I can attach the creation of everything with their source of existence, God, then that is my path now. When I'm on this way, if someone comes and says, "Hi, how are you?" You are kafir. Do you believe in Muhammad to be the prophet of God? No. I don't know. No, they don't say no. They say, I don't know. I mean, I, I was grown in a Christian family. They say, I don't know. It is not within my tradition. It means it doesn't mean that they are denying it. Of course, it doesn't mean that they consciously believe in it either. But it means they are just in peace with me in peace, and I have no right to say لست مؤمنا. You are not a believer. So to make sure whether this man is openly declaring that believe in God, believe in the hereafter is just mythology. That is obvious now. Otherwise, I don't know. People say, but I don't know. I'm not sure. That is not really the translation says, taking a careful attitude. We have to be careful while we are passing judgments in order to justify ourselves and feel great. Thank you. I spoke a lot. It was, inshallah, it wasn't a diversion.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. It was beautiful. I think we are at time right now, so I think we can stop here. Where's my inshallah? So we'll continue next time with the continuation. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka anta al-alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati surat al-Fatiha.